The Seneca guns, unexplained booms that shook Appalachia, explosive booms with no source, have echoed across Appalachia for 2 centuries, defying every scientific explanation attempted. Across the mountains and coastal plains of eastern North America, a mystery reverberates through the air itself. For more than 200 years, residents of regions stretching from upstate New York through the Appalachian Highlands to the Carolina coast report the same inexplicable phenomenon. Massive booming sounds that shake windows, rattle walls, and seem to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. No source is ever found. No explanation has ever satisfied the evidence. The phenomenon carries a name as enigmatic as its nature: the Seneca guns. The first documented account comes from one of America's literary pioneers. James Fenimore Cooper, writing in the early 19th century, describes mysterious booming sounds associated with Lake Seneca in New York. The lake, one of the glacially carved Finger Lakes that stripe the landscape of central New York, sits in a region where indigenous peoples had long spoken of unexplained sounds echoing across the water. Cooper's documentation gives the phenomenon its enduring name, though the sounds he describes are far from unique to that single location. What Cooper captures in his early account establishes the pattern that persists into the present day. Witnesses describe sounds resembling distant cannon fire or tremendous explosions. The booms arrive without warning, sometimes as single events, sometimes in rapid succession. They occur during clear weather and foul, in daylight and darkness, across seasons and years, without discernible pattern. Most troubling to those who hear them, the sounds appear to have no directional source. Unlike thunder or actual explosions, which announce their origin through the behavior of the sound itself, the Seneca guns seem to emanate from the air itself, surrounding listeners rather than approaching from any specific point. The geographic distribution of the phenomenon expands the mystery rather than clarifying it. While Lake Seneca provides the name, similar booming events are documented across a vast territory. The coastal regions of North Carolina report frequent occurrences. The Virginia coast experiences them. Mountain communities throughout the Appalachian chain describe identical phenomena. The sounds are not isolated to a single geological feature or atmospheric condition. They appear across diverse terrains, from coastal plains to mountain valleys, from lake shores to inland hills. Newspaper archives from the 19th century preserve accounts that mirror modern reports with remarkable consistency. Coastal Carolina newspapers document sudden booming sounds that send residents into the streets, searching for the source of what they assume must be an explosion or accident. No burning buildings are found, no damaged property appears. The booms leave no evidence beyond the memory of the sound itself and the testimony of shaken witnesses. Some accounts describe windows rattling in their frames. Others mention a sensation of pressure change, as though the air itself compresses momentarily before returning to normal. The 20th century brings scientific investigation to bear on the mystery. The United States Geological Survey, tasked with understanding the geological processes that shape the continent, takes interest in the Seneca guns phenomenon. USGS researchers approach the booms as they would any unexplained geological event, deploying seismographs to detect ground motion that might correlate with the sounds. The investigation covers both the original New York location and the Carolina coastal regions where reports cluster most densely. The seismic data proves deeply puzzling. While some boom events coincide with minor seismic activity, the correlation is inconsistent and insufficient to explain the phenomenon as a whole. Many of the most dramatic boom events produce no seismic signature whatsoever. The sounds occur without corresponding ground motion, suggesting their origin lies in atmospheric rather than geological processes. Yet this conclusion opens more questions than it answers. University of North Carolina researchers take up the investigation in the Carolina coastal region, where Seneca guns reports maintain steady frequency through the decades. The research team approaches the phenomenon systematically, cataloging witness reports and attempting to correlate boom events with measurable physical phenomena. Their documentation confirms what witnesses have reported for generations. The booms are real, substantial events producing measurable sound pressure. These are not auditory hallucinations or misidentified distant sounds. The events are physical phenomena of significant magnitude. The research team works through proposed natural explanations with methodical precision. Seismic activity, already investigated by the USGS, remains on the list, but cannot account for the majority of documented events. The coastal location suggests another possibility: methane releases from the ocean floor. Pockets of methane trapped in marine sediments can theoretically burst forth and ignite upon contact with air, producing explosive sounds. The researchers investigate this explanation, examining the geological characteristics of the coastal shelf and the frequency of documented methane seeps in the region. The evidence proves insufficient. While methane releases occur in the area, their documented frequency and locations do not match the pattern of boom events. Atmospheric phenomena enter the investigation. Under certain conditions, sound waves can refract through layers of air at different temperatures, carrying distant sounds far beyond their normal range and sometimes amplifying them in the process. Could the Seneca guns be distant explosions or sonic booms, carried and distorted by atmospheric refraction until their source becomes unidentifiable? The researchers pursue this line of inquiry, examining weather conditions during boom events and checking military records for sonic boom-producing flights in the region. The military explanation appears promising initially. The Atlantic coast hosts numerous military installations and training ranges. Supersonic aircraft regularly operate offshore, producing sonic booms that reach coastal communities. The researchers obtain military flight records and compare them with documented boom events. The correlation is partial at best. Some boom events coincide with military operations that could produce sonic booms. Many do not. Furthermore, the character of the sounds described by witnesses does not consistently match sonic boom characteristics. Witnesses familiar with military sonic booms often insist the Seneca guns sound distinctly different. The USGS researchers encounter the same frustrating pattern. Each proposed natural explanation accounts for some events, but fails to explain the phenomenon as a whole. The booms resist categorization. They share characteristics with multiple types of natural phenomena while matching none completely. The directional quality of the sounds particularly troubles investigators. Witnesses consistently report an inability to determine where the booms originate. This characteristic does not match the behavior of any well-understood natural sound source. Additional puzzling features emerge from the accumulated documentation. The booms occur most frequently during periods of clear atmospheric conditions. If atmospheric refraction of distant sounds provides the explanation, one would expect increased frequency during specific weather patterns that favor sound propagation. The data does not support this expectation. The sounds appear during calm, clear conditions when atmospheric refraction would be minimal. They occur in locations without the geological features that might produce natural gas releases or other explosive phenomena. The geological context of the affected regions adds another layer to the mystery. The Appalachian Mountain chain is ancient, its current form shaped by hundreds of millions of years of erosion wearing down what were once peaks rivaling the Himalayas. The region is not geologically active in the sense of having frequent earthquakes or volcanic activity. The coastal plains are similarly stable. These are not regions where one expects unexplained geological events of any kind. Yet the booms continue decade after decade, century after century. Witnesses who experienced the Seneca guns describe the psychological impact of sounds without source. The human mind instinctively attempts to locate and identify unexpected loud noises, a survival mechanism developed over millennia. When that mechanism fails, when the mind cannot assign direction or cause to a dramatic sound, a profound unease results. Coastal Carolina residents who have heard the booms multiple times report never becoming accustomed to them. Each event produces the same startled response, the same futile search for explanation. The physical sensations reported by witnesses provide additional data points that deepen rather than resolve the mystery. The pressure change sensation suggests substantial displacement of air, consistent with an explosive event or sonic boom. Window rattling confirms significant sound pressure reaching structures. These are measurable physical effects, yet instruments positioned to detect and measure such events often record nothing, or record only the sound itself without the accompanying seismic or atmospheric signatures that would point toward a conventional explanation. The phenomenon continues into the present day. Modern residents of the affected regions report experiences identical to those documented in 19th century newspapers. Technology advances, scientific understanding deepens, monitoring capabilities improve, yet the Seneca guns remain unexplained. Each new investigation brings sophisticated tools to bear on the mystery. Each investigation concludes with the same fundamental uncertainty. The Seneca guns occupy a unique position in the landscape of unexplained phenomena. Unlike many anomalous events that rest entirely on witness testimony, the booms are documented by multiple independent observers across vast geographic areas and extended time periods. Unlike cryptozoological phenomena that might be cases of misidentification, the sounds are real, physical events that produce measurable effects. The mystery is not whether the phenomenon exists, but what causes it. The geographic association with the Appalachian region connects the Seneca guns to other documented anomalies in this ancient landscape. The Brown Mountain lights in North Carolina, mysterious luminous phenomena that have resisted explanation despite extensive investigation, occur in the same general region. The Mothman encounters in West Virginia, whatever their ultimate explanation, add to the catalog of unexplained events associated with the Appalachian Highlands and surrounding areas. Whether these phenomena share any connection beyond geography remains unknown, but the pattern is documented and persistent. Scientific investigation continues, though no active research program focuses exclusively on the Seneca guns at present. The phenomenon occurs irregularly, making sustained observation difficult. Each boom event is brief, often over before instruments can be brought to bear. The geographic spread of occurrences means no single monitoring station can capture all events. These practical difficulties compound the conceptual challenge of investigating a phenomenon that defies conventional categorization. The sounds echo still across Lake Seneca, along the Carolina coast, through Appalachian valleys. They arrive without warning and depart without explanation. 2 centuries of documentation, decades of scientific investigation, and countless witness testimonies have produced a clear picture of the phenomenon itself, while leaving its cause as mysterious as when Cooper first gave it a name. The Seneca guns remain, in the most literal sense, unexplained. If you found this case compelling, subscribe to Vanishing Roads for more documented paranormal investigations from around the world. This story was created with AI assistance based on documented case files. All events reference real investigations and reported incidents.